It's muted.
All right, Doug, we're live.
We're live. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the 2026 Faculty Senate, our fall meeting here. Thank you all for coming and looking forward to a good, I think we got it going. Okay, thank you. Looking forward to a good semester. We're kind of in a big transition where all of the new officers were appointed this week. Okay, and there's some information that we're going to ask of y'all to make sure that we've got all of the senators that are that have been elected, and if we haven't, we need to fill in some of those spaces. And let me see if I can share my screen. This one. And this has our agenda on it. So I will say that we are being recorded and we are being live streamed. So anything that you say can and will be held against you, right? So mind your manners. Elizabeth is there keeping track of our viewership and that kind of stuff. So if you enjoy the content on our page, please hit the like button.
Please subscribe.
And follow. Okay. So I'm Doug Elrod, if you don't know who I am, and with me is Jason Rutledge, and Cammie is, thank you. Missed you. And Cammie Boaz. That's a good Southern way to say it too. Is here, and we are the appointed officers. Y'all, I'd like to thank y'all for serving as senators too. It is an important role. I think we're at a good place with our faculty senate finally. We're going to get to go, Misty and I, Misty, the former president. Give it up for Misty. Big shoes to fill in this role from what she has done in the past. We're going to go on the 31st to the board meeting, and we're going to present to the Board of Regents what we did last year. And hopefully we'll find out at that one if our adjunct faculty proposal went through okay, and what they're going to fund and what they're not going to fund. Okay, we did ask for 70 to 50. Yeah, we wanted 70, but we'd take 50.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at. So at this time, I'm gonna have Cammie talk just a little bit about the vacancies that we've got, the senators. Okay, we asked for an election to be held by April the 30th. Okay, and I think some of that was done, but I don't know that we ever got the information for a lot of that. Okay, so I'll turn it over to Cammie and let her. Yeah, come on up here.
Good evening, good afternoon. Okay. Cammie Boaz. I completely transparent. I've never participated at this level for something I think is so important. I've been a senator, but to be in the officer position, I've never done a job like that before. So I'm learning. And that's okay.
Yes.
All right. So I know that there are vacancies in the office position as far as me being able to record those. I have not been in the loop when those elections were being performed in the different divisions. So we will be reaching out for some assistance to get back to make sure we have good record.
There you are.
There you go. Oh, I can see myself now. Okay. Sorry. I'm a wanderer, so
You're the one in the pink.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So I'll be wanting to make sure that I have everyone's name represented in our forums. So I appreciate any good instant feedback you can give me about who is in what role for your divisions, or if you know your name hasn't been put on the list yet, I'll be looking for that. And helping us recruit, I guess, for those divisions who don't have the appropriate representation, any good words of feedback that you can provide to encourage participation from our other peers in the different divisions.
You want to cover, while you're up here, you want to cover committee assignments? I know you've been in touch with Dax.
Yes, so making friends in high places. So Mr. Dax and I have been talking weekly, just trying to get a good idea of when we can expect those committee assignments to be done. So on our last discussion, he said that a survey is in its final run through. They were just having to make sure that names were removed and added for all the new folks that we had coming in and those that retired and left us. And so that survey should be coming out. The goal was this week. So when you get your survey for a committee assignment, if you would please make sure to provide that feedback so that that whole assignment process, you get your first choice at least, hopefully, right? And that can be completed so that you know where you're going to be serving for the next school year.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. And now Jason's going to talk to us a little bit about this new excellence in teaching, which is different from, that's what we have always called the Teacher of the Year Award, which I was a recipient of back in the day, but I didn't want to get that confused.
Yeah, so first, anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Jason Rutledge. I teach math here at NCTC. And so I'm your vice president this coming year. So if you do have any questions or concerns, don't feel free to reach out to myself, Doug, or Cammie. We'll be happy to address whatever we can as best we can, as quickly as we can for you. So, we have this Robeson Excellence in Teaching Award that's just been announced. There's a fact mail that came out about it this last week, I think. Donated by a former NCTC employee Maurice Robeson Irish. Some of you may remember. Basically, what this is it's basically a scholarship available to instructors and professors that allows you either up to $2,500 individually or up to $5,000 for a department if there's anything new or innovative or creative, something different you want to do for your classes and your students. There's an application that was attached along with this as well. So the email went out to everybody, should have it. We will work on getting that information and that application uploaded into the Faculty Senate websites as well. And so that way you should have access to it from there. So, but that's about all. There's a deadline for it. Applications are due by September 15th.
Tomorrow.
So, is that tomorrow?
No.
I was like, I've already lost track of my days. That didn't take long at all. So anyway, September 15th is when those applications are due. So if you do have anything you've been thinking about or want to do for your classes or students, there is money out there to be had for that. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. You. On the agenda, Jane is going to talk to us a little bit. I caught her with her mouth open, though, so I'll give her something. With Faculty Senate, the Scholarship Committee and the recipients thereof.
Oh, yes. Okay, there are some modules that I do in the Faculty Senate Canvas course, and one of them is the Faculty Senate. What?
You have to come stand by Doug so they
Come
can
sit
see.
by
Oh,
me.
I stand by. Okay. Got my vest. No, I can't. I'm blind.
Okay.
I'm having cataracts.
You're on screen.
She's mid-camera. So, you know, I don't see any of you. It's a lot of colors up here. I see somebody waving. Okay. What I was going to say, the Faculty Senate Scholarship Committee is an internal committee of the Faculty Senate. And we have the finances to offer several scholarships, and it's based primarily upon individual contributions from the faculty. We have it set up, of course, with the foundation. There are 2 scholarships. One is the Faculty Senate General Scholarship, and then one is the William E. Culp Math and Science Scholarship, which includes nurses as well as people who are majoring in math or science. And so at the module on the Faculty Senate, I don't know if you can pull up anything like that, but it does have the information about that. It has, I have done a flyer that shows who the recipients are for 26-27. And also there is a foundation form that you can fill out if you want to contribute. And so a lot of people, most people who do give money to these scholarships do it on a monthly basis. I've been doing it as long as I've been here. And I don't even notice it. You know, I mean, it's like, I never saw that money. You know, it just goes automatically. And then, of course, you can make a special. Some people like to do one big contribution once a year or something like that, but the form is on the website in that module. And if you're going to contribute, be sure you specify the scholarship you want to. If you want to contribute to the William E. Culp Scholarship or to the Faculty Senate General Scholarship, or to both. I do both. So just a hint, you know, if anybody wants to join me in that. And so the amount of money that we have to offer depends primarily upon the interest from the different ones. And so the, let me see, I have a list, if I can find it and read it, of how much we had this year. So let's see. We have more money in the general scholarship fund, so I do encourage those of you who are interested in math or science to possibly contribute to that, because that doesn't have quite as much money, but we've been trying to equalize the amount that we offer. So we gave 2 William E. Culp scholarships this time for $1,000 each, and it's $500 per semester. The students have to take at least 12 hours, and they have to maintain a 3-point average every semester that they have the scholarship. And so if they do that for the fall semester, then they're automatically given the scholarship for the spring. And then if they want to apply for another year, they have to reapply for the next year. And then we gave 4 faculty scholarships at $625 each. The William E. Culp recipients were Jessie Brenham and Mary Kay LaRue. And then the Faculty Senate scholarships were Isa and Ashen, Sonia Bird, Angelica Gomez, and Christian Sheeter. And so I do encourage you to contribute to this and help participate in this. It's something that, you know, encouraging our students and part of retention and that sort of thing. And also, these scholarships are based on academic achievement. And so we have a lot of scholarships that are based on need, but the priority is academic achievement, and it is good to reward people for working hard and having high goals and maintaining those particular goals. So I do encourage you to do that. And in the Faculty Senate module on the scholarships, I have, there's a form that explains what the scholarships are. There's one that tells how you can support and encourages you to do that. Of course, the foundation giving form is there. Also, we have one that tells you who the recipients are for 26, 27. And then also there's one that lists the members of the committee. And we do have an opening on the committee because one of our committee members retired. So if anybody's interested in participating in that, please let one of the faculty senate officers know. And because it's the responsibility of the officers to appoint new people. And so if there's a new person who wants to join, we'd be glad to have you participate. Okay, the other thing is professional development. And NCTC is very supportive of the Texas Community College Teachers Association. Dr. Wallace and Dr. King both are very supportive. Dr. King handles a special fund that is just to help pay for individuals who are part of not just our faculty and not just full-time, but also adjuncts and also staff who are interested in participating. And so the Community College Teachers Association funds, one of the things Dr. Wallace does every in-service is give away some free memberships. And so we've already, in our adjunct support meeting, we gave away 2 free memberships to adjuncts. And then there are going to be 10 full-time faculty who will receive a free membership. And Sandy Otto will do a random selection and then send me the list. And then I let people know, send them the documents they need to fill out, and so they can get that free membership. And so, but Misty is left off the list.
Yes.
Misty has won it 3 times. Think the fix is in, what has she got on Sandy Otto that makes, her end up.
Play the lottery.
So,
No, because I'm worried Osceola does.
but it, I do.
One time, Misty, not 3 times.
One time you won 5 prizes in one thing.
Yeah.
So at any rate, 10 people, and perhaps 10 people in this room, will be receiving notification that you have received a free membership. There are also some conferences that are coming up, and NCTC does pay for faculty to attend. Those, we have a fall leaders conference. It's going to be September the 11th. And then leaders conference, which is new, that's going to be in November. And so these are online, these are virtual, but they have quite a lineup of speakers. A lot of different topics are covered, and certainly one of the things they're really going to be concentrating on this time around is the upcoming legislative session, which is very ominous, needless to say, for all of us. And so I will be sending out information about those conferences when it's appropriate to start signing up for them. And they're very inexpensive, it's $50 for members to participate. So usually the faculty senate officers attend, campus reps attend. Other people are interested. If you're interested in doing that, you'll have that opportunity. You can fill out. And again, the funding for that is usually handled through Dr. King's office because he's in charge of the TCCTA funds. Faculty Fellows is another one of the programs that TCCTA offers, and NCTC can choose 2 people who have been working at the college for 5 years or less to nominate for faculty fellows. The idea is to, people who are just beginning teaching or just become part of the institution have a chance not only to find out how TCCTA operates, but also they're put in contact with other faculty members from across the state. There are meetings online. They, of course, get their membership is paid, their conference attendance is paid, the banquet is paid. There are a lot of things like that come with that. And it's a very, very, I think, important and really inspiring. And there are quite a few people in this room who've had that opportunity. Would you like to say something, or just, yeah, got 2 people right there.
Cami, you've already talked, so go ahead. I had a great time. I mean, it was my first year here as a full-timer, and it was something I can't imagine Having not done, I've made connections at other campuses across the state. And even I'm now on the legislative subcommittee for TCCTA, so a lot of really nice inroads and introductions across the state to other colleagues.
Good. So I encourage you, if you have been here 5 years or less, to put your name in the pot. And I will be sending out probably next week, hopefully if things go well, and I can see what I'm doing. I will be sending out emails giving all the information about it and telling you how to apply for that. And then the decision is going to be made at the end of September, maybe early October. We'll choose the 2 people who will be representing NCTC.
Jane,
Yes.
is that open to both full-time and adjuncts?
Yes, it's open to adjuncts, and we've had several adjuncts who have been faculty fellows. So I do, if you know any adjuncts who would be interested, please encourage them to apply for that. And then, of course, the big event is the annual spring convention. This year, the convention is going to be in Austin at the Renaissance Arboretum. And we haven't been in Austin in quite a while. And so we're really excited to be going back to Austin. And of course, it's also a legislative session. So we're expecting to have quite a few sessions that deal with some of the political ramifications of what we are going through now. And it's also a good opportunity. I would encourage you to attend, but also to make appointments with the representatives that represent our service areas and go and talk to them. It's easy to do. And one of the things, the Faculty Senate also has a legislative committee. I don't chair that anymore, so I don't know who's on it or who chairs it, but I'm sure it's going to start active because it becomes active in the fall before the session. And they always do a who represents us form that tells you all the contact information, the names of all of the people who serve in the Senate and also in the House, so that you can contact them at their addresses within your own communities. But you also can make appointments when we're in Austin to go around and talk to them. And it really makes an impression. I know it's hard to imagine you can make an impression on a politician, but the fact is when they actually hear from people, people speaking to them and talking about the issues and the things that are important to community colleges, and certainly important decisions are being made that really affect not only our careers, but also our personal lives in some cases. And so having that opportunity to talk to them is a really good thing. So I would encourage you. NCTC pays the registration fee for all employees, full-time and part-time, who are members of TCCTA and attend the convention. So, and we've already set that up. So, and you can register right now for that session. And I would encourage you to do so because TCCTA is doing something different they haven't done before. They are having an early registration fee that's less, $25 less than after October 31st. It's going to be more. So you'll save the college some money if you go ahead and register, and it's not going to cost you anything. And I did put a handout in the Faculty Senate Professional Development module that tells you what the secret word is that you have to put when you go to register. There'll be a little drop down. You put the secret word in there, and then you won't be charged for it, and the college will pay for that. And so again, it's quite a sizable contribution that the college is making, and a sign of just how important the administration believes this kind of activity to be. So I do encourage you to participate in that, register early. And so in the handout that I put in the module, there's a direct link to registering, and then you have the secret word. So it's real easy. It's very easy to do. So I encourage you to do that.
Do you know the dates?
The dates are February the 3rd through the 5th, 2027. It's earlier than usual, very early, and it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday session. They tried that last year and it seemed to be popular, so they're sticking with that,
They
yes.
already had calls for presentations. Have they done that already? Do you know?
Not yet, but of course, for the gifts, I'm on the committee that does
I've
that.
done gifts a
Yeah,
couple
you've
times. Yeah.
done that, So I will be sending out something about that. I'm not sure who the session chair is for English. I'm the co-chair for humanities, and English is
Isn't
humanities.
that part of
You want to
humanities?
talk about literature, you want to talk, yeah, hey, if you want to be a session, let me know, and we'll put you on the program.
Will you
Jer-
pay for my hotel bill?
Can't do that, but again,
I will if you
Well-
present. If you present, they can.
if you present, very often, NCTC,
Always
that
more than
secret fund that Dr. King has, he will pay. He will pay your transportation, he will pay your hotel, and you'll get a per diem for your food if you are presenting. Yes. If you have an office, if you're serving on a committee, we have several people, Cammie's serving on a committee, aren't you?
Yes, on the, what do you call this? The event,
The planning committee.
the
for
planning
events or something.
committee. Oh, my Lord. Yes.
So you need to be sure that you apply to get your transportation, hotel, and so forth covered. If you're on one of the state committees, if you are a presenter at the gift session, or if you're a presenter at one of the other sessions, you have a right to apply for that. And that is an addition, that can be an addition to your professional development funds. So if you've already used your professional development for something else, or you're going to use it, the TCCTA can come out of this other fund that Dr. King is in charge of. So I encourage you to do that. And again, humanities is very broad-based. Almost everything is about humanities. So, and I'm in the process of creating my program. So anybody who has an idea of something interesting that you think you would like to present, let me know. And we'll see what we can do. I believe that's all I have to say.
Okay, next on the agenda is I asked Courtney Hymes to come in and talk to us a little bit about the timely care changes. I know a lot of us as faculty have used timely care with our students. So there were some major changes, right?
We did have major changes. So, sorry, first of all, for my shorts and t-shirts. We've been moving students into the dorms all morning. So, straight from there. Okay, so just to, I'm guessing, is there anyone who doesn't know what timely care is? Virtual mental health and wellbeing platform. NCTC has used timely care since January of 2021. And they keep a lot of statistics kind of stuff in the background that they share periodically with us. And so in June, they shared this impact slide with us. And so it has, our engagements and our registration rate, different satisfaction levels, different things like that. And you can see from this that like scheduled counseling and the medical now, which was on demand medical services, were our two highest utilization areas, followed by Talk Now and psychiatry. So without timely care, we had 76% of students who said that they reported that they would have done nothing if they hadn't had timely care as an option. And I think when they do the survey, it's things like I would have gone to a medical provider or a counselor offsite. I would have gone, on campus for services. I would have done nothing. Things like that are their choices. So very high percentage who would do nothing if these services aren't available to them. But as you know, with the financial state of things, our previous timely care contract was not something that we were going to be able to move forward with just because of how some of the financials have been working out. And if you were at or listened to the June board meeting, timely care was not getting renewed at that point. We went a few weeks without timely care services. That's why you saw it removed from Canvas. The website was gone. Anything talking about timely care was removed from everywhere we remembered it might be. And students were no longer getting referred to timely care. Melinda and I continued meeting with our timely care rep to see if there were things that we could work out. We'd been trying to do some of that in advance of the June board meeting, also trying to, what if we take these pieces out or we reduce these pieces and stuff like that. So basically at the end of our discussions, what we came up with that that seemed to be the best with what we could work with, given all of our current circumstances, is, do you have the list? It's the stuff that you got in an email the other day. So we had to have a reduction in a lot of what we're offering to students. So previously, students could they were eligible for up to 12 individual counseling sessions at no cost to them in our August 1st or July 1st through June 30th kind of calendar year with timely care. So we've done a reduction to that. I think we're using a bucket of sessions now. So we have purchased 275 sessions, and that's what we have. There is the option to purchase additional sessions if we are to run out of those. Similar to that, psychiatry used to be like we could allow for up to 4% of our population to have services. So we've had to cut that to, I believe we're at 75. Did I spell them all out here? So we had to reduce that to 75 sessions. We still have the unlimited Talk Now, which is on-demand mental health support. So if students access that, they can be connected in about 5-ish minutes is the average to a mental health provider. So that on-demand, still unlimited. We also kept the self-care content. So there's lots of different modules and they're listed out in that email that everyone should have gotten on Monday or Tuesday. So lots of different modules in there. And then inside those modules, there's videos, worksheets, different kinds of things that can work through that at their own pace. And then there's also the anonymous peer community, which is basically anonymous message boards from students across the country whose schools have timely care services. And so they can communicate with people, find support through those services. Super important to note that we do not have any medical services through timely care anymore. I know sometimes instructors, if a student was going to be absent, they referred them to timely care, and timely care could also provide medical notes for those absences. We were not able to keep our medical services, not the scheduled or the on-demand medical services. The health coaching and then like the success coaching, which students could do like academic success coaching, financial wellness, or career coaching through there. That was also cut. Now our academic advisors and our career coaches through career services, they still cover the academic and the career pieces. The biggest one we missed out on there is the financial wellness piece, because there's not really an office on campus that covers financial wellness. Health coaching.
Courtney, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
So the on-demand mental health services, is that where they I don't want to say self-report, but go out and get it themselves without being referred to it? Is that the difference between that and the bucket?
Yeah, so the Talk Now,
Okay.
they can just connect on timely care and say that they want to talk to someone now. And it's about a 5-ish minute average time for when they're connected to a mental health provider through that. And that's unlimited. But that's where you're not choosing your provider, you're just getting who's next. So if you've ever used Doctor on Demand, it's kind of that same thing, but it's a mental health professional. So that's unlimited.
Is there a way they keep notes or some kind of tracks of a person requests help multiple times the same thing? Someone else can see what else has been done in the past.
Yes, there's a record kept of how much all of that is accessed and stuff. Yeah.
I don't mean like how many times you're accessed, but like, so this, like, I called in with depression, and then I called in again with the same issue.
Oh.
Is there somebody that can say, okay, I've seen in the past, you talked to so-and-so about depression, how are you feeling since then? Kind of
That would be on there.
They keep records in there. So when they access those timely care providers, they should be able to pull them up and look back at those records. The psychiatry services are by referral only. So COSI or myself or a timely care provider would have to refer a student for psychiatric services. I am also going to be working with timely care to set limits because no-shows get counted against us. And in the past, it didn't matter that much because they could go up to 12 and, so it was just kind of hurting them because we were pretty generous on how many sessions they could have. And now it's probably going to be, if you no-show twice, you don't get to access timely care for those services, for the rest of that year. And you can try again when we reset, next summer. But just to hold them accountable and to make sure we're not blowing through what we have allotted for us.
So any student who was currently being served prior to that June 1, did everything get restored?
So timely care was super generous with us. That board meeting was June 30th. It's the last day of our contract. So they actually, for any student that was actively using services or that had an appointment scheduled out still, services remained for them. So they gave kind of a 30-day transition period so that they could work with students. But during those 30 days, like we were in pretty regular communication with our timely care rep and working toward trying to find some type of solution. And so there wasn't, for students that already had some access, there wasn't really a gap for them. And IT had paused, kind of the uploads and stuff like that. But it was a week or two ago, Tom started sticking them back. The new students enrolling now, he started uploading them again for their timely care access.
Yesterday, I was I went to the website for through NCTC and timely care
To the
still,
counseling page.
it wasn't.
Yes, that website is not active yet. I'm probably gonna have to go through and make some edits on there before that one becomes active again, so I can make sure that it has like what services we're offering now and not. Students can still log in if they go to www.timelycare.com/NCTC. They can still get to it that way. They just can't do the nctc.edu/timelycare. But it's still out there from Timely Care's site.
Timelycare.com/NCTC.
Yes, /NCTC. And I've talked to Axel. Someone brought it up yesterday. I think Dr. Avila maybe had brought it up yesterday in my in-service presentation about it missing from Canvas. And so Axel and I have talked, and that should be coming back into Canvas for students to access through there too.
Thank you.
So we need to pull it from our intro module if we have a timely care.
Depends what you have.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
just copied and pasted something that came through.
They have not updated our marketing materials
Yes,
just
that's-
yet as far as what services we have. So if you have the old flyer thing that listed like 12 different services, then that's, take down that
Okay.
picture. We can do the general stuff, but I checked our digital files from them again yesterday, and we still don't have like the little service card that we can use. But I may see if marketing can kind of take our old one and just do some edits. In that kind of way. So.
Any other questions? I just want to say thank you for fighting for it because my students did use it and they were appreciative of it and they came back with good feedback.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Yes, I'll tell you, like in the 2-ish weeks that we really kind of didn't have it to be able to use for students, we had 2 different people who really needed psychiatric services, and trying to, one in Denton County, one in Cook County, and the one in Denton County already had been to MHMR and refused to go back. And so, trying to find services for someone who isn't willing to go to MHMR, who has no form of income, was really hard. I actually had to work with the mental health navigators through the health department here in Denton, to try to find some options. We found one. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
got lucky.
yeah, we did get really lucky, and I was like, thank you, navigators. For now, and it was actually it's a resource in Collin County, but they were like, they let us. So, okay, anything else?
Thank you. Thank you. So the next thing on the agenda is just a brief coverage of what we accomplished last year. One of the big ones, Jeremy had a big role in the Constitution, getting everything up and running with that. And hopefully, as I said earlier, we'll get our Constitution ratified, or if that's the right term now, for use, and which will allow us to call a meeting to order and actually vote on things and that kind of stuff. So we're moving forward with that. And I want to thank that committee that worked so hard on the verbiage, and having to go back and forth between the lawyers and that kind of stuff was a lot of work, also, we, as I said earlier, we worked on the adjunct pay increase. And I think we've fallen on some hard times now with our finances. So we'll see kind of where that goes. That was our second year to really put together a pretty comprehensive proposal and even tweak it enough to where it didn't sound the same, like it was the same proposal. But we did ask for $70 would be our, I guess, really what we wanted. We'd take 50. And
I think we put in there that we felt like a minimum of $50 per credit hour is really needed. And that, I can't remember whether we said 70 or 75 would be an actual value statement for what the adjunct faculty mean for NCTC. And then I put in like another level, like 100 or something like that, if you really want to bring them more in line with the pay raises that full-time faculty have received. So,
and more aligned with the schools around us.
yes.
So,
And then we ask that they review it every year from here on out to try to keep the adjunct faculty pay raises increasing.
we also
It does.
voted on our Thanksgiving, trying to extend it into a week. That was kind of what the vote went that way. Although, and I think this is a good opportunity for me to say, y'all, the votes really are important with this. I don't think we had as good of a turnout as we would have liked on that when we went to do the votes. And it's hard for us to get behind something that doesn't have a whole lot of support with it. We turned in the information and that kind of stuff, and I think that might have been a little bit of some of the holdup that happened with it. We basically were told this is not a good time to talk about this. Don't go there right now. Okay, so we said okay, and we are an advisory group, right? We're giving the administration what we think is faculty, so we tipped our hats and said okay. We did talk about some student etiquette issues. We were having more problems in the classroom with student etiquette. And we did some handbook, trying to get the student handbook modified a little bit so that would give us a little bit more strength in telling students they're out of line and that kind of thing. What they should be doing in class and that kind of thing. And I really, based on how this has been trending, I really just think it's going to keep going until we can get it locked down. So I think we will continue to work on that, and I would encourage y'all, if you have any suggestions, to please let us know. And if anybody's having specific issues that we can talk to the administration about, we would love to do that. We talked a little bit about international student support and how that we needed more of that. We've got more international students now, and a lot of them weren't receiving perfect counseling about what to do, okay? And a lot of them, I don't think, understand the system well enough. So there's that language barrier for a lot of them. And, but I think we've made some strides that way too. We've hired somebody that, as a counselor that can work for these international students and that kind of thing. Typically, we had done a lot as Faculty Senate with campus safety and trainings. And we did have a transition from a chief of police, and now Chief Clemens is who we're working with, because we lost Chief Shaw. When we discussed with him about these trainings and that kind of stuff, he really wanted to do it site specific. Okay, he wanted to come in with, this is how we'll do it at Graham, because each building's different, the terrain is different, all of that. Okay, the entrances and exits. So if there was a, God forbid, active shooter or something like that, everything's going to have to be completely different on each one of these campuses. Okay, and how they would handle it. So we kind of trucked on along for the year, waiting, and we really didn't get anything at that point. So I think we're going to come in with a really hard push this time as Faculty Senate. I'd like for that to, I think it'd give us more peace of mind as the faculty themselves. Okay, I know I teach downstairs with those big glass windows that open right up onto Hickory, and we get the cars coming down there with revving their engines, and I make sure I'm always in the very back of the room. I figure there's going to be a drive-by shooting or something like that. I'm a big target, right? So, and I always tell my students, okay, I'm not going to go down with the ship. Y'all follow me. Right? Get in line. I'm running. Okay? But yeah, I think that's important, and I think he's willing. I think he's been under a lot coming into that new position and that kind of stuff. So I really hope we can do that.
And with the replacement of the emergency management person, that was another roadblock that we ran into. And I will say I went to that emergency management meeting this morning, and I learned more about active shooters in 5 minutes than I've heard in the past year. So I think that he's coming in with plans.
Correct. Jeremy,
No, I was just gonna bring up the emergency manager. He might actually be a better.
I will say, I was
fit as
impressed
well.
with y'all being on the hiring committee with him. He's the most competent we've had. We might actually get rid of our chemicals that have been here probably since before my dad was born.
Legacy of Rusty Cristiano.
Oh, he didn't minimize those.
He said he's minimizing those,
So, yeah,
so we don't get 11 of them on one day.
Two on the Constitution. So that'll move us to old business, and
always.
one of the things that came up in our April meeting was, and I think Kristen brought this up,
Yes, yes.
Einstein AI being able to.
And I have updates.
Okay.
So at the end of the spring, we learned that there is a company, is AI company that was offering a paid service to essentially give login credentials to this agentic AI, and it would take an entire Canvas course. I mean, it could take your entire online course for you if you handed over your credentials. And it was very expensive, but they have been sued into oblivion. And at the moment, it has been taken offline. But I think it is a good lesson. I think we need to be just vigilant. And when you hear about anything, I mean, because I don't think this is going to stop or go away.
Somebody else will pop up.
Someone else may try it with a slightly different spin, but I would say so right now, Einstein AI is not working. It's not in business, but if you do hear or see any of these things pop up, keep us aware, because then we can work with IT and e-learning, and we can, maybe mitigate some of these issues before they even start, because I don't think it's going to go away. But right now, this particular product is kaput.
Is this, so there's one that's McGraw Hill specific. Is this the one?
Oh.
So McGraw Hill has one that actually will, if it's a McGraw
I
Hill
don't know.
product,
I don't know
it
about
will go
that.
in there and take all your exams, quizzes, and smart looks for you.
Right,
So-
right.
Oh, there's always new hackers in Russia.
Yeah,
Just
there's. But I think we've just got to stay aware and vigilant and try to stay ahead of these things.
Maybe something that we need almost a standing committee that's kind of looking at. So we'll talk about that in future things. Okay, the other one on my list is the emergency evacuation signs and Corinthians.
I've got an update on that, because the emergency management guy has been here for 2 weeks. And he already has new maps drawn up for every room in every campus. He's waiting for the frames to come in. It might take a while, he says, but I'm looking at the fact that he's done this in 2 weeks when Jane's been asking for it for, probably since the Corinth campus was built in 2000? And maybe his level of it might take a while, may be different than what we're used to.
That is awesome. Good. Okay, so that's really all the old business that I saw hanging out from our minutes and that kind of stuff. As far as new business, I've heard a little scuttlebutt, y'all. We might want to discuss how the classes are being scheduled now and that kind of stuff, and if that was a good deal or if it's not and that kind of stuff, but we talk about that, right? Also, I know Sherry is interested in this scholastic dishonesty forms. You want to tell them what you know about this?
We had asked at our last division meeting, we had asked Jamie to check on what happens when we turn in our scholastic dishonesty forms, because I handed her 7 of them in one day. Apparently nothing's really happening with those. They're not being filed, they're not being kept up with. So why am I filling them out if nothing's gonna happen?
They are filed. They're just. They're filed.
There's no system. There's no true system and there's no consequence. So that concerns me, because I'm teaching people that are gonna be taking care of me. I'm not getting younger, I'm getting older and starting to fall apart. I want the people that are actually qualified to be healthcare professionals going through, not people who've cheated their way through. So this is very concerning to me that we're turning in academic dishonesty forms for people who have clearly cheated. I mean, the forms I turned in, they had their buddy sitting with them in the camera on the test, snapping the pictures of the questions. So that concerns me that nothing's happening. So I feel like that's something we as faculty need to address.
We also kind of discovered in our student etiquette committee work that the forms themselves are pretty outdated.
Yes,
And the language, like there's nothing on them about, and there's nothing AI specific. And the language in the student handbook and what we call that they're not the same, which I think is also a problem.
It needs to be updated, I agree.
I will have to say this from a SACS standpoint, that all of the policies and procedures that we have are ones that they need us to report on. So somebody is gonna report what we're doing. And if we're not doing that from a college institution-wide standpoint, that is against our integrity with SACS.
So if we stop doing them altogether,
Huh?
if we stop doing them altogether, that would be.
No,
or, I'm
whatever
sorry.
our policy is our policy, but we need
I don't
to,
think
there needs to be a policy. And then we also need to follow it. So.
If we're not, that's a problem.
Yes, so for both things.
It's not that we're not.
But I don't
following
think
it,
there's
it's that there
there's
isn't
not
one.
a system, is it? So like if I file an academic form and then Jamie files one and then Nelson, you file one, and there's nobody inputting that being like, oh my gosh, English, history, and science or math,
Same student.
same student. Like there's no,
Correct.
yeah.
I mean, only if it's.
There has to be a
Yeah,
way.
just by
that they can track
association or something like.
At what point do
Yeah,
you?
somebody remembers.
Well,
It,
who would catch that then though?
Nobody.
Because it's not being,
I mean, as a chair, I get forms from our department, so if they're in multiple classes, science classes, then I would catch it, right? Just from like, oh, I remember seeing that name before.
and then what would you do?
Where does it go?
Well, I don't know that we have a policy really on if there's academic, if there's another level, do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, I haven't read
I think the
that
student
part.
handbook has something in it about.
It refers
Yes.
to a policy,
Chair's on.
but we
Board
could not,
policy, local FB 567, something like that?
we could not find the
Couldn't find the
policy.
yeah,
6, 7.
All that to say, we need a committee or something to.
But there should be.
There should be.
Yes.
There's reference to a policy.
Yes,
There's times that when I get something, and I know there's been a couple of times, and there was a situation with one student that so bad in a class, they were basically harassing other students, and it scared them to give them answers. And said, go ahead and send this to me. It was kind of hardcore pressuring students to give it in. And I was like, we did the academic dishonesty form, but I also said, and everybody took care of it immediately. I said, I want this person out of this instructor's course, point blank, period. I don't even want them having access anymore to the course. Like, I want it done now. And it happened. They acted immediately. But my thinking was, and I know that I can't go snooping in everybody else's courses, but my thing was like, wow, is this student in science? Is this student in history? Because likely that student is doing the same thing with another division.
Yep.
And I don't even know, there's probably FERPA violations or something, but some sort of cross-checking would have been super nice, because I'm wondering, maybe it just didn't come up yet to the other instructors, but you could, I'm guessing it was happening.
I'll just say that some instructors do not care. I have raised concerns and been told that's not your job. And it's just, there's not a consensus on what our policy is to begin with, how we enforce it, or what consequences the students face. Students faces an F in my class, but doesn't face any sort of institutional consequence for one attempt, multiple attempts, every single class. It's not consistent. And I really do think we need a policy moving forward and some sort of consensus among faculty as to what that policy should look like, whether or not we are allowed with FERPA to share about students who are consistently doing this. I know we can see, I can't remember exactly, but I can see, and I raised this issue because I didn't know if I was supposed to have access to this. We can see other, I think it's either CARES reports or is there something we can see? Early alerts. We can see other early alerts. Can we get an early alert going for issues of academic integrity?
In your class, so if you share students with faculty,
Right.
you share early alerts and academic dishonesty stuff.
So can we
that's not a violation under FERPA.
So is it a violation under FERPA if it's an AI related early alert?
Or, but there's no history there, so.
And not everybody has consistent what is an AI
But it
violation.
would be at least that semester.
So how about this? How about we put a committee together that can investigate this, and Sherry already told me she'd be on it, so. Okay. Who else would like to join Sherry on this? Okay.
Sarah.
No, I said Sarah.
Just raise your hand, so David, you're going to know.
I pointed, Doug.
That's not, I saw your hand.
No.
It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this, David. It was like this.
I checked the chat.
Yeah.
bet Jill just volunteered.
We'll do that.
See, I'll get you.
Just name Sherry the contact on this. I'll name Sherry the contact on this, and if you want to, if you're out there, if you want to get on that committee with Sherry, please do so. And one thing I would say is, let's come at this with, here's the issue, right? And here's what we think is a way to solve that issue. Let's give them.
I feel like we need to investigate, all the policies first, so investigate what is said that we can do, what's currently been done, and if there is a policy out there, how are we going to enforce it if we're not keeping these somewhere? Because like Kami just mentioned to me, those students that you and I have, they're applying to those programs, and that's not an even playing field if someone has cheated their way through and somebody else who's actually worked their
And
way
as
in.
Ozziel said, though, we're not
Then we have to follow those
Doing what
policies.
SAC says, we're supposed to be doing
There
this,
is a
so I
policy.
think this is a slam dunk, we just gotta,
Gotta get it done.
we just gotta get it done.
I
Okay,
would say if it's not in the current student handbook, look back at old student handbooks, because I had a student who cheated in my class and had cheated in somebody else's class, and when that second academic dishonesty form went in, they were out of all of their classes for an entire long semester immediately.
when did that happen?
Oh, back when Bill Bernard was here, a long time ago.
There has to be something there.
That's the answer.
So,
And
yeah,
that,
it
what
might have dropped
kind
off.
of scares me a little bit, I don't know, like litigatively or not, but is if we are not disclosing appropriate, accurate information, then where's the liability on me? Because if I say to my students, well, it's second time, because they'll always ask us, what happens next? Well, I generally tell them, second time, you're visiting with someone and it could potentially lead to X, Y, Z. So if I'm not disclosing accurate information, that's a problem. And it sounds like we're all just making it up as we go, which I didn't know that was the case until just 5 minutes ago.
I had a student that asked, will the nursing program have access to this information?
That's how this really
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
up. Was, oh, wait a minute. Red flag, maybe this has happened more than once.
Okay, keep us moving. Y'all think about what kind of campus safety and training you'd like coming up that we can kind of broach the subject with Chief Clements and that kind of thing?
I'd like there to be some kind of training for Corinth faculty on how to dodge cars racing through the parking lot. Is that possible?
It's just me.
If you're a nicer teacher, David.
Talk to those people in the neighborhood.
Maybe don't be a target.
I don't even talk to the people in the neighborhoods cutting through, so.
Stop wearing that black t-shirts and red shorts, because that looks like a bullseye.
I don't have a problem. When I was in the emergency management meeting, I had asked, because at a different institution, I was on a CERT team, and he is considering putting a CERT team together. So I don't know if that's something that we want to.
CERT, like a.
They told us in the
I think I'm
meeting.
gonna try to get a meeting with Deanne,
Community
Chief.
emergency
Okay.
response.
and we'll do.
You got
I
it.
was paying
That's
attention.
all you guys.
Okay, last thing, is there anything on y'all's mind that y'all want to bring up? Anything that we need to be looking at that I hadn't heard any scuttlebutt about or anything like that?
No, we're all fired up over this scholastic dishonesty.
Yeah. I
Fired up.
know. Fired up. Hey,
Oh, Doug, can I say something about this? Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
I just want to say, thank you for allowing, to have a representative on our CARES team. I feel like it's been really helpful to have, faculty representation, on there. So, thank you, Doug, for serving on there. And welcome,
Very
Jason.
big learning experience for me, and I did enjoy it. And Jason will take that role this year. So I told Courtney to leave me on it because I might just want to listen. You know? 'Cause there's some good gossipy stuff in there. All right, well, if y'all don't have anything, we're 5 minutes over, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all bye.
All right.
Right.
Welcome, Mr. President.
Oh, last thing, I went ahead and created 2 forms. One is a form, and it's in the faculty senate, that y'all can impeach me with.
Sweet.
The other is a what? Confidence form. You don't have any confidence, do you? You can fill that form out, all right? And I will immediately step down. Just let me know.
I know.
Thank y'all.